I am already short on NALCO and will be shorting Vedanta and Hind Copper when the right opportunity arises. This is as of 30th January 2026 and the markets have already crashed, but I posted on my channel one day back that I'm shorting metals. My logic is simple but split across two levels. Think of it like an iceberg. There's a visible, simple level that is just common sense, and then there is a much larger research under that uses facts and trends to justify the first level. So what is the first level research? Well, common sense says metals are highly cyclical. They cannot keep going up forever, for the simple reason that if metals keep rising, if they get too expensive, the global economy slow down, which reduces demand. Think of it like this. If Mercedes gave you an E-Class at 10 lakh rupees, you would buy it today. But if it was at 40 lakhs, the demand would be a little lower but still strong. But when the prices of an E-Class reach 2 crores, the demand just stops because everyone knows it's not really worth that much money. And that is what is happening with metals. This is price-led demand destruction. But then why is right now the correct time to short it? Quick answer, I do not know if this is the perfect time because they might still keep rising. But it is the right time because the markets are in a frenzy. And that's one of my supports for this logic. When the rise seems too fast to be logical, it usually is. The next reason is that all the reasons that led to the rise of metals are not structural. It is not as if demand has suddenly come upon us. Yes, wars and AI are playing a role in increasing demand, but a global slowdown is also countering that demand. For example, a large part of the metal rise was driven by CBAM, or European Union's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. This mechanism, very simply put, charges tax if the metal sold is made using methods that are highly polluting. For example, most of India's production is still using coal smelters. NALCO's chief in fact showed his concern over this, saying India's metal sector is not ready for the green revolution. So before these rules kick in, people just started stockpiling base metals to avoid higher prices. Now that this has kicked in on Jan 1st, 2026, it makes no sense for these metals to keep rising except for frenzy. Another reason for aluminium to rise was the shutdown of massive plants in Australia and Iceland. These are one-time shocks that the market priced in months back. The fourth reason, and perhaps the biggest reason for shorting right now, is the budget. The markets are pricing in a massive hike in capital expenditure for infrastructure, railways and green energy components. I do not think our government has the financial leverage needed to do that. I personally believe this budget will be disappointing, and I'm recording this before the budget on 30th Jan, so this can be a real test of my research. I am confident about this because the math does not add up. The states have increased their net deficit by 0.6% of GDP. Tax cuts will also have an impact on projections, and capital gains tax collection will also be significantly lower this year because the markets have not performed well. Real estate sales are also down heavily, about 28% year on year. For context, the government's LTCG collection last year was 10% of all the tax collection in 22-23. The only option is for the government to loosen its fiscal discipline, but if it does that, we will see UHNIs pulling out money and FIIs increase their selling pressure. Now, how can I be wrong? Well, if the capital gains tax is reduced, then yes, we will see a massive turnaround in Indian markets, including metal stocks. FIIs will most likely return the same day, and every Indian investor, including me, will turn a buyer immediately. But to be honest, the government changed this rule only a couple of years back. I don't see the government changing a rule they brought in this recently, because that would be admitting a mistake. So, having told you that I'm buying into metal stocks only a few months back, right before this mega rally began, I am now telling you that I am shorting them.